god, it's okay. First, my microphone is making weird noises. Then I thought that I recorded this and I didn't. And then I did. And my audio program crashed. So I'm going to try this again. Oh, hey guys, how's it going? I did a thing today and it looked like this. And I'm going to talk to you now about how I did the thing that I did today that looked like this. This is a very annoying intro. I would totally turn this off if I was watching this and someone acted this way. I would be like, you're really irritating. But I'm going to just keep going anyway. So I'm going to talk to you about 3 products by name. And the only reason I'm mentioning 2 of these is because I don't know of anything else that's quite like this. So I'm going to start with covering my brows, and I use MAC's Mixing Medium Lash, or Mascara Mixing Medium. Just like you would with any other brow glue down technique, you put some on, you press it in, you let it dry, you powder, you put another layer, blah, 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 blah. I can't use glue stick for this, my brows. I just never figured it out. It's a pain in my butt, but this stuff works really well. And I don't know of another product like this. You can't use clear brow gel. It doesn't work. This is a very specific thing. As soon as I mention this, they'll stop making it. So I probably shouldn't have bothered. Then forget what you're going to do. This is step 2. Then remember that you were going to put foundation on. That's the next thing I'm going to show you that's a specific product. This is MAC's Airbrush foundation. Now, there are many other Airbrush foundations, and you could use whatever one you wanted, and you don't even have to do this. But the reason I'm doing it is because this stuff is like waterproof, and it's very thin, and it adds a really nice layer to put the rest of the makeup on. Now, I'm going to use a white pencil, and you see me kind of like feeling like, where are my bones in my face? And I kind of outline, and I'm not worried about symmetry here because faces aren't symmetrical. I mostly just kind of want this sort of graphic design, and I didn't want to do the bottom jaw because I didn't want to shave my beard. So this is kind of like skull for people who don't want to shave their beard. Now let's talk about the face paint. This is from Made You Look. This is brand new, just came out. I just got it. I wanted to try it. There is a review for this on Patreon. You will not see it on YouTube. Check me out, patreon.com/JustinHunter. This is just blue and yellow mixed together and then in different ratios, so I can add a little bit of shading on the outside of this. But that's all of the body paint that you see is from Made You Look. If you are curious, this is, now you're seeing it in what do you call it? Action. Then black. So I could have done the black after, but I just wanted to see what this whole thing looked like before I started to do the shading. So I did the black now. And this goes everywhere, like all over. And yeah, you have to take your shirt off because you forget and you're like, ugh, but you figure that out. And I put it all in my beard. I actually took a bunch of this in my hand. Well, not a bunch, but a little bit in my hand and got it wet and then ran it all through my hair because I have quarantine haircut right now, and so you can see my scalp because I've just been buzzing my hair. So I wanted to really make this look like black all over, so all you saw was this like skull. When I get to the eyes, you'll see that I forgot to turn the camera on. This is the same body paint but in a much drier consistency, and then I set it with a black eyeshadow. I do this because it's going to crease if I don't, and that's just how I do it, but I don't want it really liquidy right around my eyeball. But around the eye socket, this is very liquidy. This is much, much more fluid than the stuff that I was putting on my face even. And the more mature your skin, the more fluid you're going to want it. Otherwise, it's going to just tug. When you get to the nose, start small because you can always go bigger. And that's what I did. Start small, go a little bigger. I do my waterline too in a minute. Yeah, it's doing it right now. I forgot I should have done it earlier. But the next part here, and I'm going to fast forward in a second, is just shading, playing around, and mostly using gray, a little bit of black, but mostly gray and green eyeshadows, and just kind of keep playing. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of advice if you haven't done a skull before. The teeth, the more time you spend, the better they will look, but they are so annoying. So do a little bit and then move on. And then do a little bit more and then move on and just keep coming back to them. Because seriously, the more time you spend on them, the better this whole thing is going to look. But they're really obnoxious to do. I hate it. So I just kind of kept going back and forth. It helps to have a reference photo. I had a picture of a skull on my phone next to me so that I could see kind of where the shading is going to go. So like the cheeks, I wouldn't have, I guess in my imagination, wouldn't have thought to like add so much shading where the cheeks are, where it's kind of like that sinus cavity thing, but or whatever. But that's what that skull looked like. For me, this whole thing started because this is just a lot of playing. The whole thing came together when I added the highlights. So don't be afraid to like really get in and muddy this up, because then I took yellow, just straight up yellow, a little bit more of a dry brush, and then just added the highlights, the high points of around the nose and kind of above the eyes and stuff. You'll see right here, and this is when it started to really kind of take shape for me. And then I could go in with any darker colors and really kind of play and dig into them. So yeah, that was it. And that was it. It was it's a thing, and it's done. And there you go. You're welcome. Now, the reason that it looks like this is because I filmed this in blue light. It wasn't my original intention. I wanted to do this whole chartreuse thing because I love chartreuse. But then I had my blue filters on and I'm like, oh, that looks really cool. It looks all glow in the dark. So I went with that instead. And that's it. So thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope that you learned something or were at least mildly entertained by me or are having a good night's sleep. And stay tuned because I did film another video after this. So I'll edit that, upload it. You'll see it when I upload it. And I guess that's all. Happy Halloween. Check me out on Patreon. Patreon.com/JustinHunter. I can't say that very fast. I'm not a very fast talker. All right, guys. Thanks. I appreciate it. I'll see you soon. Okay. Bye. How do I turn this off?